he was sincere and sincere advice to the leaders of the Muslim and their ordinary folk. To give sincere advice. Brother, you shouldn't be doing that. Sister, you shouldn't be doing that. Brother, let me help you to get beyond this. Sister, let me take your hand. If your brother, don't take her hand literally. That she's your wife. And let me help to pull you up. Let me help to empower you. Let me be a source of strength for you. Let me be that brick that the Muslim should be able to lean on for you. To do that, we have to be strong. If someone's going to lean on us, we have to be strong. We can't crumble. Then everyone's lost. We're lost because we crumbled, and they're lost because they leaned on us and ended up falling down. Because they thought it was a brick, but it turned out to be a pile of sand. A Muslim is a brick. And not just any brick, a brick that's coated with lead. That's the Quran. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا لِمَا تَقُولُونَ مَا لَا تَفْعَلُونَ. See, Malcolm, he might not have known how to recite this verse, but he had internalized its meaning. Oh, you believers, why do you say that which you don't do? كَبْرَ مَقْتًا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَن تَقُولُوا مَا لَا تَفْعَلُونَ. It is hated with Allah that you say that which you don't do. Did Malcolm say anything he didn't do? Everything he said he did. If he said, I'm a Muslim, he acted like a Muslim. If he said, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't use drugs, I don't fornicate, as a Muslim, then he left those things. He said, I stand up for truth, I stand up for my people, I speak truth to power because I'm a Muslim, then he did those things. He did those things. So he might not have known, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا لِمَ تَقُولُونَ مَا لَا تَفْعَلُونَ كَبْرَ مَقْتًا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَن تَقُولُوا مَا لَا تَفْعَلُونَ. Is hated with Allah that you say that which you don't do. إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الَّذِينَ يُقَاتِلُونَ فِي سَبِيلِهِ صَفًّا كَأَنَّهُمْ بُنْيَانٌ مَرْصُوصٌ. Allah loves those who go for it like they're a cemented wall. Bunyanun marsus, a wall where the bricks are coated with lead. A Muslim is a solid person. Malcolm was solid as a rock. La ilaha illallah. The second point is Malcolm spoke truth to power. And again, this is a part of Islam. We're not saying this to make a political statement. We're saying this to make a religious statement. Our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, one of his hadith, he mentioned, أَفْضَلُ جِهَادٍ كَلِمَةُ حَقٍّ عِنْدَ سُلْطَانٍ جَائِرٍ. That the best jihad is a word of truth in the face of a tyrannical ruler. That's the best jihad. Because when you wage that jihad, in many instances, you'll end up like Malcolm, dead. Because those in power, they love a physical challenge. Because usually they have an advantage. And they can easily crush a physical challenge. And they're usually bloodthirsty killers who derive great pleasure and great delight from crushing a political challenge. But at the same time, they're usually morally, spiritually, and ideologically bankrupt. So the thing that challenges them like nothing else is the truth and the power of the truth and the ideas that are embodied in the truth. And again, Allah Ta'ala reminds us in the Quran, جَاءَ الْحَقِّ وَزَهَقَ الْبَاطِلِ إِنَّ الْبَاطِلَ كَانَ زَهُوقًا. Truth comes, falsehood perishes. By its nature, falsehood is doomed to perish. So when systems are built on falsehood, like the economic system dominating our world right now, It's built on falsehood, the falsehood of perpetual growth. How can you have perpetual growth in a finite world? And it has to constantly expand to remain viable. And when it can expand, you see what happens. It collapses because it's a false system. A political system that's false. There's the right to participate in elections, but to elect who? A bunch of millionaires or billionaires or billionaires and millionaires who put their money behind candidates who will work to ensure the perpetuity of their millions and billions. That is not a true political system. And then it marginalizes increasing numbers of poor people. It can find money for war through the political system, through the Congress, through the political machinery, but it can't find money for poor people. It can't find money for education. It can't find money to provide a dignified existence for all of those people who exist within their border. So you see people marginalized. You see people profiled, as we see happening in Arizona. You see and expanding to 10 other states that want to adopt similar laws. Truth does not allow such injustices to go unchallenged. And this is what Malcolm taught us. At a time when it wasn't popular, at a time when there wasn't KPFA to back you up a little bit, at a time before there were organizations and institutions, Malcolm was standing up. And the point, we have to stand up for truth. We can't be afraid to speak the truth. Otherwise, the idea that something better than what we have is possible will die. And if the idea that something better than what we have is possible dies, then our hearts and our souls will wither like grapes on a vine in the sweltering sun of oppression. It's inevitable. We have to believe that we can do better. There's no perfection in this dunya. But we have to believe there can be more justice. We have to believe we can create a system globally where everyone can have a fair share of the resources found in their lands, where everyone can be entitled to the opportunity to pursue a dignified life, where people will be truly judged based on the content of their character, not on the color of their skin, and will be able to walk the street not fearing that they might be stopped and accosted by the law enforcement agencies because of the color of their skin. If we cannot believe that, if we cannot speak about that, we're dead, brothers and sisters. We're dead. This is what Malcolm was telling us. This is what he was telling us. And a Muslim is a courageous person. Our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would always remind us how important it is to be truthful people. It's the key to righteousness. Inna as-sidqa yahdi ila al-birr wa inna al-birra yahdi ila al-jannah. Truthfulness leads to righteousness, and righteousness leads to paradise. What is the key? Truthfulness. And in doing that, we're responsible. We're not reckless. We're responsible. But we're not afraid to believe that there can be something better than what we have. We're not afraid to believe that collectively we can make a tremendous difference. Because once we are afraid, brothers and sisters, and we fear even that the truth might lead to our death, then nefarious forces will dictate to us humiliating ways to live. If we're not careful to ensure that we die a dignified death, then we'll live an indignant life. Allahul Musta'an. And we seek our help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.